everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video doing my version of a snowball viburnum, and I'm going to be doing it on this green glass wine bottle. The bottle has been cleaned. It's the bottle that I actually use for a lot of my videos. So I've cleaned it, gone over it with rubbing alcohol, removed the design that I previously painted, and it's ready to go. Alright, the brushes I'm using today, once again, are AMAGIC flat brushes. I am using a number 12 and a number 2. All of my products are listed below in affiliate links that you're welcome to purchase through. Using my fine liner by Westonia, it's actually a nail brush, and a number 8 Deerfoot stippler. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin by using my Deerfoot stippler, and I'm going to just dip it in. Oops, I don't think you can see this. Dipping it all the way into the yellow ochre, and I forgot to go over with my paints. I apologize. I am using Thicket. I do use all FolkArt paints, in case you wonder. Fresh Foliage. I do combine the multi-surface and the enamels. Lime green, and that's purely so that I get the colors that I want. Yellow ochre, because in all honesty I use this paint on every surface. And wicker white. Alright, and I apologize, my air conditioning just started up. Alright, so what I'm doing is sticking my Deerfoot stippler into the yellow ochre, and I'm just going to do some random, I just want them to be a circular design and not necessarily a smooth circle, but a round shape. And I'm just going to put them on here, just kind of spread them out a little bit. For the purpose of this video, I am just painting on the front of the bottle, and let's go ahead and do that one here. And then I'm going to stick the brush into the wicker white, and then just go back over the designs. Again, just kind of ruffling it up. Just like this. And keep on going. And then I'm going to go back over and add some yellow ochre into it. And just keep in mind too, when you're doing this is going to give your design a little bit more durability because you have a thicker base. Not that all the flower petals are going to be on this, because some might come off of it. It's just, you know, a little bit more durability because the paint will be thicker. I am going to hit this with my heat gun. I will be right back. Alright, I've hit it with my heat gun. Now I'm going to stick my number 2 flat brush into the wicker white, and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to be doing these little teardrop strokes. And I'm trying not to do them too hard. This is a little bit more difficult than painting on paper because your paint comes up as you're painting a lot of times. So it's not as thick as I want it to be, even though I gave it some dry time with my heat gun. So I have to be very careful with it. Like that. So what I would probably recommend as I'm doing this is to go ahead and give it that dry time. You can also go ahead and, give it some dry time and go back over it again. You just want it to be where it's not, see how you can see through the paint? I don't like that. So that's what I'm having a hard time dealing with right now. But I'm just going to continue here and just try to lightly put it on this, even though, like I said, I did give it some dry time. But for the purpose of the video, you might want to give it a little bit more, because I am actually kind of double dipping this into the white and the yellow ochre, just trying to see if that helps. And I just dip each side of the brush in and paint, because I need it to be a thicker coverage. And this is where I say you're going to come out here from the design and paint a little bit on the actual glass. And that's just because we don't want it to be just real rigid. I mean, we are like a complete circle that's not been, so now that covers a little bit better. This one's going to come out from there. And right now I'm just doing really light strokes, trying to, it's still pulling it up a little bit. And I did do a pretty good heat gun. Let me go over this a little bit. See, I might have to go over it because I want it to be more opaque. And that's what I'm trying to show you, but for the purpose of this video, I think you get the idea. You might just have to give it a little bit more time. And then like this one, I'm going to stick a little piece out like that. I'm going to come back over here, give this guy a little swirl again. Because this can be really all your white color. It doesn't have to have the yellow ochre in it, but I'm just adding the yellow ochre right now so that it'll help make it more opaque. That's the only reason. But if you like the yellow ochre in it, you can do that, or you could even do a little bit of a green. Let's see, it pulled the paint up. The only thing you have to be careful when you're painting over the top of paint on glass. That's one of the things I do need to let you know, that it can do that. Pull up your paint. And it's not too bad. I mean, if you felt like you needed to go over it again, I'd be, just go ahead and do it. That's up to you. I'm just going to leave it be. A few of these like that. And then come back up in here. And come back down. Okay, and like I said, I can go back over it, and I just turned my brush the wrong way, so don't do what I'm doing. Pay attention to the direction of your brush. And then like this one's a little too transparent. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. I like it. I'm going to come down here, start again. And that's where I say I'm not going to be completely on the center, or this piece that I painted out. But it's very simple. Like I said, just very, very simple design. And if you're new to my channel, that's what I intend to create, are simple designs. Because I want people to be creative. I don't want you to be afraid to pick up a paintbrush. Just give it a whirl. Because I'll tell you, if you have something else to do besides be on a computer or be on your phone, it can be relaxing. It can be very relaxing. And fun. You can get people together. Say you got friends that like to paint or like to do crafts. Gather up your old bottles. Man, you could even do pickle jars, and you know, we always have jars that we have left over from condiments or something that we've been eating, and they can be good, can actually make really good storage containers. I've done some videos on that. They're very cute. Anytime you can save something out of the trash, give it a new home, give it a new use, it's awesome. And I can come around, or I can just leave those two. I hope I'm on the screen. Sorry if I'm not. And you can do them more like them overlapping each other too. I'm just, like I said, for the purpose of the video, just doing some basics. And yes, I did turn my brush the wrong way once again, dagnabbit. I'm just touching it very lightly to cover it because I want it to be more opaque. And you'll get a feel for it. When you start painting on glass, you'll get a feel for it. You'll be a pro in no time. I'm looking forward to seeing your videos. Right, there you go. And I said it. So true. Alright, so I'm going to leave it like that. And then I got one more to do. Alright, so I got all three of them colored in, right? Painted in. And here we go. The next step is to take your fine liner brush, and you can use any liner brush. I guess that any of the tools that I point out, you can use whatever you have on hand. Please don't go through any expense unless you don't have any of the tools. But what I'm going to use is this lime green. And I stick this brush into the paints just like that. And I'm going to go in here and then just kind of do like a little center for each one. Kind of rotating back and forth. And just figuring like approximately where a center would be. It doesn't have to be perfect or exact. I'm just tapping in. Yeah, it's just kind of like doing some little lines here and there. And just going through where I think a center would be. Just like that. Just very easy. And I'm rotating with the different colors. And just being real loose with it. Again, I'm not trying to do anything specific, just doing little lines. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. And put some little lines here. And just kind of look back and see, you know, do I need to do any more? Add any more someplace here. Do it the opposite way. I'm doing it backwards. Alright, now I'll just keep going here. Again, just doing little lines between the lime green and the thicket. Very simple. And I appreciate you sticking with me when I'm doing this. Easy peasy. So is this something you think you can do? I hope so. Hope I'm getting a big yes from people. Alright, then one more. We'll be done with this part. And you can just kind of roll off the paint if you get it on too thick. Wipe it off on a paper towel. Pretty darn easy. I just kind of look at it and think, okay, now is this where one would be? Because I just kind of sporadically do my petals. Alright, just keep going. Do a little line here. And just little fun centers. Like I said, there's nothing difficult about them, or nothing, I should say, not nothing. Kind of reminds me of doing a mustache. I'm going to put a little green, darker, sorry, the lime green in here. Do that here. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm still going to use my liner brush, and I'm going to go into the fresh foliage and into the thicket, and I'm going to come through here and kind of do some lines. Now again, like with any of the things that I paint, if you feel like you want to make adjustments to it and say maybe you don't want to do the little stems that I'm putting out here, then don't do them. If you want to just do the leaves around the floral petals, just do that, then it's fine. Alright, so on the leaves I'm going to do the fresh foliage, the thicket. Might even touch in a little bit of white at times, just kind of go back and forth. If I ever add paint, I'm just dipping into the sides. Sometimes I give a quick little swish to blend it, and I go on. So just so you know, with my setup here, I don't have a whole lot of room, so that is why I don't show a lot of what I'm doing with loading and reloading my brush. Okay, so on this type of petal, I'm going to do like this and push down, and go up, tip, come back. Alright, I'm going to continue on. Again, I'm going to probably put some into the white, come back. Now with this type of a leaf that I'm doing, and I'm doing it all separate like this because I just want to make it easy for you. Now if I come up over this flower, I may risk pulling in some of the paint from the flower, which is fine. Okay, but I'm doing basically the same leaf, and I'm coming back like that. Okay, now I can add another petal to it. I can leave it as a 3 petal, or I can make it a 4 or a 5 petal even, and come back like that. All my petals don't have to be the same size, but I do basically start out with this main one, and see, I don't know if you get what I'm saying about the paint, but when you do the wiggles on the glass, a lot of times it pulls the paint back up, so you have to be cautious with that. Maybe go back in and fill it up, or if it doesn't bother you, leave it alone. Alright, so we're going to do this petal out this way, come back in like that, have more of a opening here than I wish, so I'm just going to come back down, do this leaf again. Let's go like this. I'm going to go. I just got to be careful as I'm coming down here because I do not want it to pull up. Again, I could just leave it like that. I'm going to go ahead and put a 4th leaf on it. I just like it to be filled in a little more. I could actually even put a 5th leaf on it if I wanted. But I'm not going to do that. Let's go like this. Go back over it again. Do some light weaving, and I'm going to just turn it in here like that. Okay, it's going to be upside down a little bit, but I wanted it like that. Okay, now you can actually do the leaves beforehand if you wish. It's up to you, so that you can get some of them underneath the actual flowers. So that, again, is up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and do one that'll come up like this. Come down here and maybe just do it a little bit smaller. But it is going to go over this plant a little bit, which is fine. Just a little smaller version of it. Because you got to keep in mind when you do, every time I do one of these, when you do a floral arrangement, everything's not going to be just like separated nicely and whatnot. You're going to have, things are going to overlap. So I could leave it like that, but I think I'm going to come down here just to kind of fill it in a little bit more. Gosh, I'm hoping I'm on screen here. I'm sorry if I'm not. I'm intending to be on screen like that. And let's do one more. Let me see, maybe I can turn this. I don't really want them up above the plants or the flowers. So I think I'm going to do one like this. Come back. And it's just a very light wave, you know, movement of the brush. I just don't want to make it too dramatic. And I can come down here and pull it back up. Again, I could leave it that way. Oops, I turned my brush wrong. Let me get to redo this one a little bit here. Like that. And I think, just to finish it off, I'm going to come like this and come back. So this is actually one leaf. It just has several petals. So then I need to come back with my liner brush, do the same thing with sticking it into the paint, although I don't have as much paint on my brush. And then this is where I'm just going to kind of try to tie it in. I can make the branch a little thicker, have it come back down here and come out. Again, I can make them thicker. I don't have to have such a thin stem like I do right now. And then I can come up here and I can actually even do a vein up into the flower or the leaf like that if I wish. You know, I can come up. You don't have to start at the bottom. So I can connect this, just even coming up like that. Or if I wanted it to come up into the main leaf, or I can do it in all these leaves. And just because you do the one stroke doesn't mean you can't put veins into your leaves. And you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to start from the center into it. You can actually go down from this part up if you want, like that. And see, it gives it a whole different look when you start putting your little veins in. And you can even get more creative with that if you want. I'm just going to leave it this way because I don't really want to mess it up. Also, when you're doing this, if you want to put in, like say with this, you don't like the space right there, you know, you can do your filler leaves, but for the purpose of this video, I will not be doing filler leaves. Alright, I hope you like this. Again, this is my rendition of this snowball viburnum, and I hope you like it. If you do, please give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. And before you leave, if you would, take a moment to share this video on your social network with all your family and friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.